tracker here just to make sure nothing is on the ground. A little sus right in here. Um, can't confirm if that is debris getting picked up right there, but it does correlate with our area of rotation. Um, this would be near the Pittsburgh area. So again, interior room away from windows. If you are in this area, this is a an area of rotation that is quite strong this morning near the Pittsburgh area, and this is moving off to the north towards the Fayette area, Whitestown, and Zionsville area. Probably close to tornado warning criteria, if not there already. A really nice hook echo on this leading edge as well. You can see your inflow coming in right here. This is likely a rain wrapped area of rotation near the Pittsburgh area and the Liston area. Um, and this is moving northeast, probably 35 to 45 miles per hour. In a pretty decent area of rotation associated with this as well. I can't confirm if anything is on the ground. But again, interior room away from windows. There is a special weather statement in place, but there is no warning at this point in time. Here's the next velocity scan there. Hopefully, we just see this kind of dissolve and go away. I think this will kind of be the story of this morning, where we see these quick spin ups, where we see quick increases of rotation, and then hopefully quick areas where they kind of broadened out. There you can see a pocket of strong winds, but the outbounds are kind of separating themselves a little bit. But still, interior room away from windows until this storm has passed. There is some rotation up there. This is north of the Danville area, near the Liztown area in Pittsburgh. There is a little bit of a boundary layer up here too, so hopefully that rotation didn't make it all the way to the ground. But this is something that we need to keep an eye on as well. Again, no warning on this. But the area of rotation will be just north of the Pittsburgh area, and this is moving east northeast towards the Fayette area, Royalton area, and Brownsburg areas. I would monitor this storm here pretty close, as well in the Zionsville area. Keep an eye on this line as it moves towards your location. Moving back down to the south here, go ahead and switch radars here to get a look here. We do have a new warning now for the Du Bois County area, Jasper, Indiana. Does include the Paoli area as well. Severe thunderstorm warning for Du Bois County, Crawford County, and Western Orange County in south central Indiana. And this is until 8:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail for this southern storm here. So damaging wind risk is the only hazard right now at this time for southern Indiana for the Paoli area and Jasper County areas. Going back up here to central Indiana towards the Brazil area, tornado possible for the Brazil area, as well as 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. And it does look like our area of rotation that was there has broadened out quite a bit. Go ahead and hit play here. You can see that quickly spin up and then kind of dissipate here. But this got quite tight, if I might say, near the Liston area in I-74. This would be near I-74 and State Road 39. It got pretty tight in this area here. You can see how it's broadened out just a little bit, but still a nice pocket of damaging winds here, probably near the Pittsburgh area. Could be close to severe criteria in terms of straight line winds. But the good news is the rotation that was there has broadened out associated with this storm. Again, no indications that a tornado is on the ground at this point in time, but we may have had a brief touchdown with this. Looking back at radar, to be determined, unconfirmed at this point in time. If you have any damage from the Liston area, do put that in chat if you're watching from this area. I'd be really curious to know if there was any damage, particularly in this area here around Liston, State Road 39. That's where it was at its tightest. Looking back on radar, there was pretty pretty a possible spin up tornado here near the Liston area based on radar a few minutes ago. So if you have any damage near the Liston area, put that in chat and let us know.
Okay, well, looking at that CC drop, I'm sure you're referencing here. When I line up with the four panel, it does not align well with the reflectivity. It does align well with ZDR and velocity, though.
Yeah, so kind of goes along the unconfirmed.
Right.
It's Ryan there behind the scenes. He's running radar there. Currently, a few severe thunderstorm warnings here in place for the Brazil area, as well as Greencastle, Clay City, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail, tornado possible. Back down south of the Bloomfield area, very large warning here extended all the way to the outskirts of Bloomington. This is 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail associated with this. And Jasper County, Du Bois County, down to the Paoli area is also 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. So baseline severe thunderstorm warnings here associated with this. The area of rotation that we were watching up here has broadened out. Just a damaging wind risk at this point up here. I don't see any rotation anymore associated with this thunderstorm. And there's a severe thunderstorm warning now, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. And this does include the Noblesville area. This is for northern Hendricks County, central Indiana, northwestern Marion County, central Indiana, southeastern Boone County, central Indiana, Hamilton County, and central Indiana, as well as southeastern Tipton County, central Indiana. Overlaps quite a few counties here. This is until 8:10 p.m. This box does not include Indianapolis Metro, although if you're on the north side of Indianapolis, I-69 465 interchange here does include your area. And this is until 34 more minutes here. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour winds. This is moving northeast at 70 miles per hour, so moving quite fast as it moves towards the Fishers and Noblesville area. And we do have a tornado watch in effect here today for all areas in yellow. I'll go ahead and toggle that on here just to show you who is included in the tornado watch. The Storm Prediction Center, in coordination with the National Weather Service, went ahead and issued a tornado watch for central and southern Indiana. We weren't sure if they were going to be doing that or not. It all kind of depended on how things trended with our storms here today, if they were going to maintain intensity, and they have kind of reorganized a little bit associated with a cold pool aloft. Cold pools aloft can add an instability in storm organization. Everywhere in yellow is our tornado watch. So if you are north of this line, you guys are in the clear for severe weather. If you are south of this line, central, southwest, southeast Indiana, and extreme portions of eastern Indiana, I think Jay Adams Wells, you were still under the gun here for severe weather over the next few minutes or a few hours or so. This watch is in effect until noon today, 3 hours, 48 more minutes in effect for this tornado watch. Damaging winds, a couple tornadoes possible, scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour likely, and isolated large hail events up to 1.5 inches in diameter as well. That's ping pong ball size hail possible here within the yellow box here. So the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service are watching these storms for intensification as they move east towards the Ohio-Indiana line, as well as the Indiana-Kentucky state line here this morning as well. Go ahead and toggle off that watch and go back to radar here. Currently, I'll go from north to south here. Go ahead and get back our dual panel so we can look at the winds here associated with these with this thunderstorm. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. This does include the Noblesville area, Zionsville area, and Fishers area. Moving back south, we have a large severe thunderstorm warning just got extended, also including now the Speedway area, or does not include Speedway area south, International Airport in Indianapolis, and the Beach Grove area getting close to you guys. This is 60-mile-per-hour winds. This storm is booking it, moving northeast at 65 miles per hour. That's the forward motion of this. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, radar indicated. This includes northern Monroe County, Morgan County, Brown County, Johnson County, Hendricks County, Clay County, Owen County, Marion County, Greene County, and Putnam County until 9 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So a very large warning here. This is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail associated with this. Going back down to southern Indiana, Du Bois County currently under a severe thunderstorm warning in the Jasper area. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. No rotation associated with this, but there is some damaging winds here within the core of this storm, perhaps gusting to 60 miles per hour. Could have some small hail up to penny-size hail. Down for the Bloomfield area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail along this section of the line right in here. I don't see any rotation associated with it, but you can see the gust front right in there. Gusts to 60 miles per hour and penny-size hail. Also, torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms as well. So do watch out for that if you're on the roadway here this morning commute. If you're on I-65, 74, 70, do watch out for ponding, excessive rainfall. Extremely heavy rainfall rates are occurring here as well. These storms are moving quite quickly now across southern Indiana, moving east at about 60 to 70 miles per hour. We have warnings ranging from about 60 to 70 miles per hour. This one up here, north of Indianapolis, this storm is moving at about 70 miles per hour. This hazard is for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail with a forward motion moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. This includes the Noblesville area and Fishers area. You can see that gust front right in here coming into the Zionsville area, going to be moving into the Carmel area and Noblesville area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as some penny-size hail. So small hail is being reported within this storm, radar indicated as well. Moving back down to the south, Greencastle, Brazil, Indiana, things are improving for you. Same thing with Terre Haute and Sullivan. Terre Haute, you guys are in the clear for severe weather, as well as Sullivan and Rockville. Areas that have not experienced this line are still under the gun for possible severe weather. Currently, we have 4 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. We do have one up here for the Van Wert, Ohio. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. Currently, the storms moving through Wells and Adams and Jay County and Blatford County are sub-severe at this point in time, but we did have one go severe as a cross-state line. Back down to the south here. I'm going to keep an eye on this cell here. But currently 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. This is moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. It's moving pretty fast as it moves off to the north and northeast. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. Does include southeast portions of Indianapolis. Downtown Indianapolis is on the northern edge of this warning box. It extends from downtown Indianapolis over towards the Nashville, Indiana area in Brown County, and does extend back to the Spencer area. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail associated with this. This storm is moving east at 65 miles per hour. Going back to the Bloomfield area, severe thunderstorm warning does continue for 13 more minutes. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Jasper County, Du Bois County, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail for you. Vincennes, not necessarily a thunderstorm warning. Looks like they're going to let that expire at the state line there. Could have some gusty winds moving through town. Also watching some gusty thunderstorms to the west of Gibson County. Currently not severe, but we'll have to keep an eye on them. Could have some embedded pockets of perhaps some gusty winds within these storms as well. So lots of going on right now across central and southern Indiana. And the severe weather risk here this morning will continue through early afternoon when these storms are finally expected to be out of Indiana right around 1 to 3 p.m. The severe weather threat hopefully will be over here for Indiana. But for now, tornado watch remains in effect for about 3 more hours here today. And there's an area of rotation starting to come back here within this storm. This is just due west of Carmel. So you can see your hook echo, your inflow right in here. We do have an area of rotation near the Eagle Village area, a little bit of a mesovortice or a spin up area of rotation. Nothing that signifies anything on the ground, but we do have that area of rotation. It has come back, and this is going to be heading really close to the Carmel area. And eventually towards the Noblesville area as well. Area of some broad rotation right in here, right where you see those reds and greens holding hands. This is just south of the Claiborne area in Eagle Village. Give you a road network on this. That would be West 131st Street, as well as Shelbourne Drive is kind of where that couplet is currently. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that. Not incredibly strong at this moment, but there is some broad rotation there within this cell as it heads towards the Noblesville area. You can see a nice hook echo on radar here. Here comes the radar beam, going to do another sweep here. Yeah, hook echo still there a little bit. Have to wait on our velocity to update here to see how that correlates. But there is a little bit of rotation there near the Claiborne area, moving northeast at 65 to 70 miles per hour. Here comes the next sweep, and it is still hanging on there just a little bit right in here. Some broad rotation there associated with this storm here. And this is moving towards the Noblesville area. So interior room away from windows until this storm has passed. This storm is moving off to the northeast at 70 miles per hour. And this is 60 mile per hour winds and penny size hail. But the area of rotation still hanging on. There's the tornado possible tag in it. So the area of rotation not quite strong enough for a tornado warning with this storm, but they have upgraded it to a tornado possible for this area of rotation just west of Carmel. This is moving northeast at 65 to 70 miles per hour. See if they updated the forward motion on this or kept it the same. It is moving northeast at 70 miles per hour, 70. There you go. Latest scan. Kind of broadened out the area of rotation quite a bit more. Still could be there at the low levels. It would be kind of right in here if we were to pick it out. But more of a shear line now where winds are running parallel to each other. You have greens going towards the radar, reds going away from the radar, and you can see they're just not quite as tight. They're running next to each other, but not going into each other. So some good news there, but we're going to have to watch for these periodic areas of rotation. We call them mesovortices. They quickly spin up, and they typically are short-lived. But because of the sporadic nature and fast nature of how fast these things develop, do be on guard here this morning across central and southern Indiana. Something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Going back south here, 60 mile per hour winds, penny size hail, and this includes the Spencer area, Martinsville, Bloomington area, Nashville, Cloverdale for this line of storms currently moving east at about 65 to 70 miles per hour. Torrential rainfall is also occurring here with these storms. These are very heavy thunderstorms. Moving back south to southern Indiana. Um, Severe thunderstorm warning for Du Bois County continues, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and it also does include Crawford and Orange County as well. Extreme portions of northwestern Crawford County, or Orange County as well. Penny-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. Expect damage to roof siding and trees. You can kind of see how it has a bowed out nature to it. Probably some gusty winds right in there, just north of the Jasper area. Moving into the Paoli area, the strongest portion of this storm currently looks to go just south of French Lick towards State Road 145. You can see that little bowing segment right in there. Back up here to the north, these storms are currently subsevere across northern Indiana. Van Wert County, Ohio, has a baseline severe thunderstorm warning. Back to our tornado possible severe thunderstorm warning here. Maybe a little bit of rotation, still trying to hang on north of Carmel, but it is quite broad at this point in time. More of a damaging wind risk here. You can see how it's starting to bow out here. We have straight line winds coming in behind this towards the Noblesville area. Here comes our next radar sweep here on velocity. Go ahead and take a look at that. Not a lot in the way of rotation here associated with this. You can see winds running parallel to each other, and they're not really curved in or holding hands like you'd see for a couplet. We don't really see that anymore. If you go ahead and hit play, you can kind of see what I mean there. See how those colors held hands a little bit right about there, and then currently has broadened out quite a bit. So
Caleb,
still going to have to keep an eye on that over the next several minutes as well. Go ahead, Ryan.
Caleb, the gradient winds ahead of this line at the Indianapolis airport gusted to 51 miles per hour.
And okay. And those are non-thunderstorm winds out ahead of this line. So very gusty conditions before these storms arrive here. As Ryan said, gradient winds there. These are probably out of the south. If I had to imagine, but that was a measured wind gust here at the Indianapolis airport before the storms arrived. So it is quite gusty out there even before these storms get there. And this is because of the pressure gradient here across the state of Indiana. Hey, Ryan, can you take over here for a minute? My wife told me I need to look out the window.
Yep. Give me a second. Go ahead. Excuse me. So while Caleb does that, we have a couple of warnings out there to keep track of. This one up by Fishers in Noblesville has a tornado possible tag on it near Carmel for some rotation we've been watching there. Not too concerning on radar that we're seeing. Does bear watching for some gusty winds, but rotation-wise, it appears to be quite minimal in nature. Down here, we have a large warning in effect from Mooresville up here toward the south side of Indianapolis, down toward Nashville, Bloomington, Ellettsville. And a secondary warning down here for Bloomfield over toward Guthrie. In fact, a new warning being issued now for Bedford, Odin, Guthrie, and Clear Creek, as well as Knight Ridge, Elkinsville, and Maumee areas. This new warning is for 60-mile-per-hour winds. That is the only hazard with it. There's no possible tornado tag or large hail expected with these storms. So these are being warned in abundance of caution. A lot of the reports we're receiving behind the scenes is more so for like 40 to 50-ish mile per hour winds, but there is potential that these could reach 60 mile per hour winds with these cells through the morning hours here. So we're tracking it throughout the morning. We're live here. Current time is 8:27 a.m. It is currently March 11th here in the state of Indiana. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of severe warnings here. Most of these are central and southern Indiana. If you go further north here to North Indiana, it's just a lot of moderate rainfall going on up there. There's nothing severe currently, unless you live over in the Ohio side near Van Wert, where there is a severe warning. for 60-mile-per-hour winds up there. Otherwise, we're tracking storms, this line in particular from Fishers down here all the way through Indianapolis, towards Spencer, toward Bloomfield, all the way even down here toward Vincennes. There's a couple areas and pockets of severe thunderstorm warnings that have been issued here. So we have several areas to track. Luckily, this all looks pretty, we're not going to say uneventful, but it's looking a lot better than what it could be looking. Right now, if you look at the velocity with the wind, you're going to notice it's a little bit cluttered today. Based on latest radar here, it's kind of hard to depict the gust front, but it's definitely there. And we'll have to track this as it moves toward Martinsville, Mooresville, and Bloomington here in the next couple of minutes. Some populated areas taking shape here. Going further north here, Indianapolis downtown is probably about, I'm going to say, 10 minutes away from impact. And again, the severe warning continues. They just updated this, and this continues for 60-mile-per-hour winds. There's no tornado possible or hail tag with this cell. We do have a couple airport radars to go off of to give us a better idea of what these storms could be doing. And overall, this is looking, I'm not going to say weak, but it's definitely looking not as strong as it could. I'm seeing a lot of pockets here of 30 to 45-mile-per-hour winds up and down this line here. I'm not really seeing anything that suggests otherwise, or higher, should I say. It looks like the winds out ahead of this line could be a little bit higher, as we did have a 51-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Indianapolis International Airport a few minutes ago. That's from our friends at NBS Indianapolis. So zooming out of that region, going further south here, similar story. We're talking really 40-mile-per-hour winds along this line here, with isolated instances where it could top 60 at times. Nothing that I'm seeing really jumps out on the page with the wind velocity with these storms. I think these warnings are more so just abundance of caution type of situation. They're just going to warn it just in case these storms are producing brief instances of 60-mile-per-hour winds. There is some instances of also weak rotation, but right now not seeing anything that jumps out the page at me. So Caleb's back here. I want to mention as well, we're not really talking about it, but it's a very big threat, and that's the flooding risk tonight, or today, really. There's a lot of rain. We've had a lot of rain recently, so it's going to exaggerate any flooding risk with area rivers, as well as low-lying urban populated areas. So we could have quite a few areas across southern Indiana, even North Indiana as well, that could receive numerous inches of rainfall and renewed flooding as well. So never drive through flooded waters if you come across it on area roadways. Always know the old saying, turn around, don't drown. If you can't see the bottom of it, do not go through it.
Yeah, and some of these storms are producing damage. Even in northern Indiana, we have a storm report out of Wells County near Pinedo. This is from emergency management. We have a couple trees down, a tree down in the area, and a barn that has sustained damage in this area. Time was estimated via radar. This was not warned at the time, but some gusty winds are still possible. Even outside of these warning boxes could occasionally mix down to the ground there as well. So that's from emergency management near the outside of the Pinedo and Veracruz areas in northeast Indiana. That was Wells County where that damage report came in. Currently back down to the south. Go ahead, Ryan.
It's all you.
So, go for our warnings here. This severe thunderstorm warning continues here for 13 more minutes. Tornado possible, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and penny-sized hail. This storm is getting pretty close to the edge of the warning box, though, so we're going to have to see if we get a downstream warning on that or not. That'll be up to the discretion of the National Weather Service. Going back down the line here, you can see our line of storms is moving pretty fast here across the state of Indiana. Severe thunderstorm warning continues. If it lets me read the warning, it is not going to let me read the warning. There we go. Severe thunderstorm warning remains in effect until 9 a.m. This includes northern Monroe County, Morgan County, Brown County, western Johnson County, southern Hendricks County, Owen County, southwestern Marion County, as well as Greene County and Putnam counties. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail for this severe thunderstorm warning. Quite a large warning as well. Moving back down to southern Indiana, severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for the Bedford area, south side of Bloomington, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail, as well as Du Bois County still under it, Orange County, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. Crawford County also included in this warning. No rotation associated with this storm, just some gusty winds and perhaps some small hail. There they trimmed back our severe thunderstorm warning there for the Noblesville area. Went ahead and trimmed that back, took off the tornado possible tag, and now it is a baseline severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. You can see some sporadic pockets of some stronger winds mixing down to the ground associated with this line here. So embedded pockets of a 60-mile-per-hour winds mixing way down to the ground. Also mentioned the Indianapolis airport gusted to over 50 miles per hour before the storms got there. Just gradient winds, just the tight pressure gradient that we have ahead of these storms could have some gusty winds before these storms arrive. That was measured a little while ago. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Here comes the next velocity sweep here. Radar. Sometimes this radar product just gives me gray hair as it changes velocity here. You can see pretty heavy storms still going to be moving into the Anderson area. No downstream warning yet. We'll have to see what the National Weather Service deems necessary there for that. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Heavy storms going to be moving into the Indianapolis area, I-465, 65. So if you're on your way to work, do watch out for heavy rain, ponding, just a lot of excessive rainfall here across Indiana. So do watch out for that. Outside of severe weather, excessive rainfall is probably the second most highest hazard here across the state of Indiana due to the torrential rainfall that is occurring here with these storms. So do watch out for that. Just looking at a little bit of information here behind the scenes. From a storm earlier here today. I have to look more into that. Here we are back. Here comes our radar sweep. Looks like our colors are going to return to normal here. Thankful for that. This severe thunderstorm warning does continue here for 8 more minutes for the Noblesville area. The storm itself, though, is moving out of the warning box, and there is our new warning: 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. This does include Anderson and Alexandria. This warning continues for 22 more minutes here. This is for Madison County, central Indiana, western Delaware County, east central Indiana, northeastern Hamilton County, east central Indiana, as well as southeastern Tipton County and central Indiana. At 8:37 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, severe thunderstorms located along a line extending 7 miles southwest of Elwood and 7 miles east of Noblesville, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So this storm has slowed down just a little bit. It was moving um, moving closer to 70 miles per hour. Um, Currently, severe thunderstorm warnings. Really, some intense pockets, some gusty winds here mixing down to the ground. Nice pocket of gusty winds. Just some embedded straight line winds here around the Martinsville area, gusting to 60 miles per hour. I don't see any rotation at this point in time, but there are some gusty winds mixing down on the ground. Back down here towards the Bloomington area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. Currently, this severe thunderstorm warning still in effect for the French Lick area as well. And this is solely for Orange County here in Indiana. The storm is secluded within that county. Does include the Paoli area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and penny-size hail. Couple areas of strong straight line winds here around the Martins area. Kind of see a couple pockets of straight line winds. Going to have to keep an eye on those as they move towards the Martinsville area. So some embedded pockets of straight line winds impacting areas here this morning. So do keep an eye on that. Straight line winds still affecting here near the Anderson area, Alexandria area. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. You can see our gust front right in there, just to the east of the Noblesville area. You can see how it has a bowed out front to it here. This storm is looking quite gusty on radar. Currently, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Indiana. Our Orange County severe thunderstorm warning was canceled. We do not have a severe thunderstorm warning in Orange County anymore. Could still have some gusty winds and small hail, perhaps, but that storm has weakened below severe criteria. This blue box down here near the Vincennes, Gibson County, over towards the Petersburg area, Oakland City, special weather statement. Special weather statements are issued when storms are strong, but not quite severe criteria. This one for winds up to 50 miles per hour. So gusty winds, but below severe criteria, but will be a storm to watch in case it intensifies. Currently, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings, all of them warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Tornado watch does remain in effect here. Some strong pockets of embedded straight line winds associated with this line segment here. You can see a couple pockets mixing down to the ground of winds up to 60 miles per hour. This will be near the Mooresville area, Martinsville right about now. This is crossing I-69 as well from Bloomington up to about the Martinsville area. And we'll be crossing I-465, I-74, I-70 coming into the Indianapolis area here as well under a severe thunderstorm warning from the airport stretching to downtown and areas south. And this does go for 18 more minutes. I have some damage reports coming in now. Again, from the Wells County area. I'm getting more things sent in to me here. Looks like quite a bit of damage just south of Veracruz, Indiana. Please avoid the area and let emergency management respond there. We have, a barn that actually shifted off its foundation. crazy. I actually know whose barn that is too. So something to watch there as well. Some sporadic damage reports being reported across the state of Indiana. Currently, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect here. We have three of them in the state of Indiana. Technically, four, the Noblesville one will be allowed to expire as this new warning will be taking precedence here. All warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Up and down this line is warned for the same thing: penny-size hail, 60 miles per hour winds. The newest severe thunderstorm warning is the one for Delaware County, Tipton County, Hamilton County, and Henry County. This storm moving northeast at 55 miles per hour, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and penny-size hail with this storm here. Also, um, sorry, I have a lot of damage pictures being sent to me here behind the scenes, so I apologize about that. Severe thunderstorm warnings continue for the Martinsville area. Still some really strong pockets of some gusty winds. Have to keep an eye on this one as well. Maybe a little bit of a mesovorticity there starting to develop, but more linear in nature. So likely a pocket of straight line winds. Moving towards the Greenwood area and Franklin, Indiana, eventually as well. Strongest winds crossing I-69 right now near the Martinsville area. Strongest winds south of the Mooresville area, right where you see those brighter greens. Those are embedded pockets of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Areas down to the south, severe thunderstorm warnings in effect for 30 more minutes here. Um, Penny-sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. We also have a tornado watch still in effect for a couple more hours here. And we have a super sticker here from Weathered Pages. Thank you for that. Much appreciated. Thank you for your support. It's been a long 24 hours, to say the least, from forecasting this event to now being live for about 6 hours last night and now being live here this morning. And took about maybe a 2 hour power nap between the storms last night and the storms here this morning. And we are back at it again. All hazards possible here this morning, and then my radar is going funky once again. This is just a software issue with this radar product, so we're going to switch radars here, just to get that out of there. And we'll go ahead and go take dual screen back here as well, so we can look at our winds. Strongest winds currently near the Brookland area, east of Martinsville. Just sporadic pockets of 60-mile-per-hour winds here. Crossing 69. Not everybody within this line will see 60-mile-per-hour winds, but there is embedded pockets of 60-mile-per-hour winds. Getting some more. Oh my gosh. Significant barn damage from Wells County, Indiana. perhaps even a possible spin up tornado based on the damage that I am seeing. This is south of Veracruz, Indiana, from earlier this morning. Um, Sounds like maybe the homeowner was home and took shelter under a tractor in the shop. New severe thunderstorm warning here. Continues for 11 more minutes. They just trimmed it back. So, not a new warning, but they did trim it back. Hazards remain the same 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. Severe thunderstorm warning continues for the Bedford area as well. All of these warnings are currently 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. Severe thunderstorm warning getting close to the Muncie area as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. See if the velocity's gotten any better here. It is still wonky and funky, so we're going to take our other radar back. Um, that radar product has been hit or miss here recently um, as well. Currently, storms moving through the Bloomington area. Bloomington, you're going to see conditions improve here over the next few minutes. You're in the core of it now. Winds will be lightening up, and you'll be left with some rain and embedded thunder here. So it is things will improve for you over the next few minutes. Stay in your safe place here for the next few minutes and should be in the clear here. So, three severe thunderstorm warnings continuing here in Indiana. Go ahead and go from south to north here and just kind of read them off to you once again. They're all warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. More of a damaging wind risk at this time. The south one here, this is for Monroe, Brown, Martin, Lawrence, Greene, and Jackson in Davies County, south central Indiana. At 8:46 p.m., severe thunderstorms are located along a line extending from Bloomington, north of Shoals, moving east at 50 miles per hour. Hazard 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. This severe thunderstorm warning is in effect here for another 23 minutes here. Moving up to the north here, they did trim this warning back. Some sporadic pockets of damaging winds here, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny size hail. This warning continues for 8 minutes here. We'll have to see if we get a downstream warning. And there it is, a very large downstream warning. Go ahead and read the counties off of you here. There are a bunch. Hancock County, Shelby County, Rush County, Decatur County, Brown County, Johnson, Bartholomew, Henry, and Marion County in central Indiana until 9:45 Eastern Daylight Time. So in effect here for 1 hour, this is a very large severe thunderstorm warning. National Weather Service, knowing this has a history of 60-mile-per-hour winds, is giving plenty of warning well ahead of this. In fact, 2 counties in advance for this line here for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. So this severe thunderstorm warning is in effect here for another hour. I'll have to see if we get a downstream warning for the Muncie area as well. I'll have to keep an eye on that. Currently, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. Currently, some gusty winds moving through the Alexandria area, crossing I-69 for this portion of the storm here. Have to see if we get a downstream warning on this or not. Has a history of producing some damaging wind gusts there. Very large new severe thunderstorm warning in effect all the way to the Rushville area. This is in effect for an hour. Um, this is radar indicated penny size hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds, and a severe thunderstorm warning continues for the Bedford area for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. This is in effect here for 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny size hail. These are all severe thunderstorm warnings, by the way. No tornado possible tags on any of them, just solely and purely a damaging wind risk at this point in time. The damaging wind risk does look to continue here for some time. And some of the most significant damage that I have seen here this morning does actually come from Wells County, Indiana. Perhaps even a possible tornado went through there here earlier this morning. One of those spin up, perhaps the National Weather Service emergency management. Emergency management is on scene currently, looking at the damage there. New severe thunderstorm warning for Madison County, Hancock County, Delaware, Randolph, and Henry County, East Central Indiana, till 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. 8:54 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from Fairmount, 10 miles northeast of Greenfield, moving east at 65 miles per hour. So these storms are moving fairly quickly here. As they continue to move. And we have a large downstream severe thunderstorm warning now, including Wayne County, Indiana, or not Wayne County, sorry, Randolph County, including the Winchester, Indiana area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny size hail. So we have warnings extending all the way to the Ohio state line now, as this line is expected to continue to produce 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts as it moves towards the Ohio-Indiana state line. So lots of warnings here way downstream to give you guys plenty of warning here ahead of this line here, as it does look to continue with the damaging wind risk. Velocity here is still wonky. I have no idea what is going on with this radar product. So we're going to go back to this radar and probably use it here for the duration of this event, unless my other product gets its act together. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny size hail. So large downstream warnings here. These storms are moving east between 55 and 65 miles per hour. So they are moving at a pretty good clip here across the area here this morning. They do extend now all the way to Randolph County, including the Indiana-Ohio state line, but currently warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning continuing down to the south near the Guthrie area, Bedford area, also 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. If I go ahead and take go back full screen here on radar, a lot of questions in here asking Is my area okay? We'll go ahead and talk about that here real quick, but I'm not going to answer specific location questions. Just know where you are in relation to this line, and you'll be good to go from there. If you are north of this line here, across northern Indiana from Terre Haute, Lafayette, Fort Wayne, Valparaiso, you guys are in the clear. Just heavy rain. Watch out for ponding. If you are south of this line, the severe weather risk remains for you. North of this line, you're in the clear. South and east of this line, the severe weather threat continues for you for at least a couple more hours to go here. So again, north within the circle here, you're in the clear. If you're south and east of this line here, you guys are still under the gun for severe weather. Lots of severe thunderstorm warnings continuing here. The strongest portion of the line extends from about right about here up to the Muncie area and just south of the Bloomington area. This is the strongest portion of the line. We have severe thunderstorm warnings extending to the Indiana-Ohio state line. Now to the Randolph County area, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, and also extending well in advance all the way to the Rush County, Indiana, towards Rushville, Indiana, Greensburg, Indiana, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail associated with this severe thunderstorm warning as well. We also have a measured gust in Madison County, measuring 58 miles per hour. So that is the threshold for a severe thunderstorm warning. We need 58 or greater. That was in Madison County a few minutes ago, measured 58 miles per hour. That is a confirmed gust there via a weather station there in the area. Muncie, Indiana, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. Moving into town momentarily here, you can see the nice bowed out front to this, nice apex look to this segment here. And a lot of these lines have kind of a bowed out nature to them. That is straight line winds, winds pushing that line out like a drawn out bow and arrow. So straight line winds, primary hazards here with these storms. All of these are currently warned for penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Moving off to the east at about 55 to 60 miles per hour is how fast these storms are currently moving. Our cold front is currently situated across northern Illinois, and that'll be moving into Indiana here over the next couple of hours as well. Temperatures are going to start dropping pretty quickly across northwest Indiana as this cold front continues to move off to the south and east today. You're going to notice what temperatures you woke up to this morning are not what you're going to walk out after work to, or perhaps on your lunch break, depending on where you are. Temperatures are going to start crashing here across Indiana as the cold front comes through. By the end of the day here today, all of Indiana will be in the 30s and 40s with wind chills in the 20s and even teens across parts of Indiana this evening and overnight here tonight. Currently, we have 3 large severe thunderstorm warnings remaining here in Indiana. Now including Jay County, Indiana. So I guess 4 technically severe thunderstorm warnings. Jay County and Blackford County now under a severe thunderstorm warning for penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. This does include the Portland area as well as Hartford City under a severe. I'm not sure why it's called Hartford. I've always called that Hartford City. Anyway, Hartford City. I'm going to call it Hartford City because that's the name I grew up with. Hartford City, Indiana, as well under a severe thunderstorm warning. And this goes into effect for 28 more minutes here. This is radar indicated. So severe thunderstorm warnings extend from Grant to Jay County all the way down to the Bedford area in southern Indiana, all of them 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. If you're north of these warnings here, Indianapolis Metro, Vincennes, you guys are in the clear. No threat for severe weather. Your severe weather risk is over for near term. If you're south of this line is yet to impact you. You are still under the gun for severe weather. So north of this line, you're happy, you're good. Just a moderate rainfall. Watch out for ponding, excessive rainfall, etc. If you're southeast of this line, do watch out for damaging winds and perhaps small hail. Spin up tornado can't be ruled out. We've seen a couple areas of embedded rotation here this morning. However, the primary risks here today are going to be damaging winds and small hail. Currently embedded pockets of 60-mile-per-hour winds embedded up and down this line as it's moving here. Let's try our dual panel to see what our velocity looks like. That looks much better compared to what it was a few minutes ago. And just kind of a software issue here as well. You can see the gust front here extending all the way down, but what you don't see, I don't really see any couplets anywhere. So that is good on the rotation side of things. This is just what we call a shear line, where we have winds kind of like this, where you have the gust front coming through, winds out ahead of it, running parallel to each other versus rotating. They're not holding hands. It's just what we call a shear line, which is a typical gust front here. Winds gusting to 60 miles per hour, but we also have strong winds out ahead of this line as well. Indianapolis Airport gusting to 51 miles per hour earlier this morning, well ahead of this line. So we have a tight pressure gradient along our cold front here today. So it could be quite windy before these storms arrive at your location. These storms are currently moving east-southeast. So if you're north of Indianapolis, northwest of Indianapolis, Lafayette, Noblesville, Fort Wayne, Terre Haute, you guys are in the clear. Your severe weather threat is over. Enjoy the rest of the day. I would bring a coat with you to work because you're going to need it after work here today. Temperatures are going to start to plummet across northwest Indiana as our cold front moves through the region. It's going to get quite cold up there as well. Going from north to south, we have Jay County and Blatford County under a severe thunderstorm warning, including Hartford City and Portland. This goes, these storms are moving east at 60 miles per hour, hazard 60 mile per hour wind gust. Next, also 60 mile per hour winds, penny size hail, and this includes the Winchester area, Muncie, and Newcastle. Areas to the south, severe thunderstorm warning continues, penny size hail, and 60 mile per hour winds. This does include the Rush, Indiana, Shelbyville, Greenfield, Greensburg, and Hope, Indiana. Some gusty thunderstorms right in here. We move down to the south. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning south of the Bloomington area. Goes for another 9 minutes here. Penny size hail and 60 mile per hour winds associated with that. We also have an area of rotation starting to develop near the Franklin, Indiana area. An embedded area of rotation right in here. It's weak, but it is moving towards the Smithland area south of Shelbyville. A little bit of rotation noted on radar here. This is just a shallow mesovortice. It is moving off to the north and northeast at storm motion, so probably 60 to 70 miles per hour. This storm is currently moving east at 70 miles per hour, so this couplet would be doing so also. This is coming up to I-65 towards the Smithland area, a really small area of rotation. I don't really see it hanging out too terribly long, as it is very small in nature, but we'll have to keep an eye on it as well. This will be kind of a hazard that we'll have to keep an eye on over the next several hours here this morning. You can see a little bit of a hook echo there on radar just south of the Bengal area. Waiting on the next velocity scan there. Here it comes around. Is my radar going to be funky or is it going to cooperate? Still hanging on a little bit, but much weaker in the latest scan there. So that is some good news associated with that. Currently, all of these warnings are warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Velocity is funky again, so we're going to go back to this radar. Sometimes that radar product just makes me want to pull my hair out. But we have severe thunderstorm warnings extending from Jay in Blackford County all the way down to the Bedford, Indiana area. But also notice a lot of these green boxes. We have a lot of river flood warnings down here. And also wouldn't be surprised to see some flood advisories start to be issued across Indiana as well, just for excessive ponding, excessive rainfall across the area. Just very heavy rain associated with these showers and thunderstorms. We also have a storm report just north of the Muncie area, 58 mile per hour winds, measured by a trained spotter. And we also have some tree limbs down in the Bloomington area from our storms earlier, as well as around the Fishers area. Have a storm report of a garage door that is blown in. So these storms are producing some damage here across Indiana here this morning, from light structure damage to down trees as well. So do take these seriously. Currently, this whole line extending from Jay County, Blackford County, extending all the way down to Bedford, Indiana, is currently warned for penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Torrential rainfall is also occurring within these storms. That is just as high as our severe weather threat here today. If you're not in a severe thunderstorm warning, do watch out for excessive rainfall, and very heavy rainfall rates are occurring here with these storms. Watch out for ponding and excessive rainfall across Indiana here this morning. We have a new mesoscale discussion by the Storm Prediction Center, basically highlighting this line, saying we have a loosely organized line of storms with a history of producing occasional gusts and wind damage. The threat does look to continue as it moves into Ohio. And a spin-up tornado risk is still possible as well. So the Storm Prediction Center watching this line closely. The risks do look to persist out of Indiana and into Ohio per the Storm Prediction Center. Going back to our other radar here, I take this radar back full here. A lot of people asking about locations still. Again, if you're north of this line, you're in the clear. If you're south of this line, you're not in the clear. Happy face, frowny face, right? Keep it as simplistic as I can. Heavy rain occurring for the Noblesville area, Lafayette up to Fort Wayne, US 30-24. Again, heavy rain, no severe weather. But if you're south of this line, Indianapolis Metro, you're in the clear. Your severe weather risk is over here for the day. Severe weather has pushed off to your east. But if you're south of this line, not in the clear. North of this line, you're in the clear. Our cold front right about here, and that is going to be moving off to the south and east throughout the day here today, dropping temperatures from the 60s into the 40s and 30s here by this evening. Wind chills overnight tonight. Could be in the teens and 20s across much of Indiana. It's going to be quite a chilly night here across the state of Indiana. Could even have some light, dare I say, snowflakes mixing in across northwest Indiana later today. No accumulations, but we could see a few wet snowflakes mix in before the front fully exits Indiana. Don't shoot the messenger. So our severe thunderstorm warning for the Bloomington area is no longer in effect. These storms have weakened below severe criteria. Currently, we have 3 severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect. This is from Jay and Blackford County all the way down to the Columbus area as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail for all of these warnings here, as this line of storms races to the east at about 60 to 70 miles per hour towards the Indiana-Ohio line. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail has been the consistent risk here for some time. across the state of Indiana. Yeah, there has been a lot of small hail reported in here. Yeah, thanks for that report, Leanna. Yeah, a lot of penny size hail, which is 0.7 of an inch in diameter. So penny size hail is not severe criteria, though it can cause some minor damage. It can put some minor nicks or chips in your car's paint, or perhaps maybe a minor dent if it's wind driven. Um, but for a severe thunderstorm criteria, we need penny or quarter size hail, which is 1 inch diameter or greater, winds to 58 miles per hour or greater. A lot of times you'll see 60 miles per hour on the warning tag, or a tornado. Those are the criteria for a severe thunderstorm. Currently, severe thunderstorm warnings still in effect. Nice gusty line of showers here, moving just south of Montpelier, south of 18. This is going to be coming south near the Bryant area and south. US 27 corridor here going to be impacted here as well. Likely see maybe some warnings or statements issued downstream for Union and Wayne County. Gonna have to keep an eye on you guys as this line moves in your direction as well. If not severe, definitely some gusty thunderstorms not out of the question for you guys. And velocity is still wonky. I don't even know what that is. Go ahead and take dual screen back on this one here. There we go. You can see our gust front extending down towards the Morristown area, Marion, Indiana, and Shelby County, not Marion and Grant County, not to be confused. We have a couple Marions here in Indiana. And we also have a new tornado warning now in effect, and this is for Jay County, Indiana, now including the Portland area. This is a radar indicated tornado warning. This is in effect here. Does include the Red Key area as well. Kind of see a little bit, kind of what we call a bookend vortex a little bit, or perhaps a little bit of a hook echo just north of Red Key. This is going to move towards Portland, Bellefontaine, Indiana, Salamonia, Indiana, Bryce, Bluff Point. This is Jay County, Indiana, including US 27 and State Road 67 from Red Key over to Portland. Grant County or Blackford County is not included in this tornado warning. It does not go into Ohio, does not include Mercer County, Ohio, but all of Jay County from Portland and south under a tornado warning. This is a radar indicated tornado warning until 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Radar indicated rotation. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. This is radar indicated rotation. The storm is moving east at 60 miles per hour. Hazard, penny-sized hail, and possible tornado. But some broad rotation is in this, but also keep in mind here, we have a radar gap here. So what we see here may not be completely accurate of what is going on at the surface. The area of rotation is near green. You can see the hook echo on radar here, sitting just on the north side of Red Key, moving east at 60 miles per hour. So if you're in Portland, Buff Point, interior room, away from windows until this storm has passed, this is radar indicated rotation here, and maybe even a couple areas of rotation as well. Very hard to kind of depict here because of our poor radar sample. We're looking well above the storm here. Maybe velocity will be fixed here on this product. And no, we're just going to keep it wonky. So, okay, we're not going to use that. But some broad rotation here. But the National Weather Service not taking any chances. Go ahead and issuing that tornado warning for Jay County, Indiana. This is moving east at 60 miles per hour. Area of rotation around the Red Key area, moving east between Portland and Buff Point, Indiana. If you're inside this tornado warning, interior room, away from windows until this storm has passed. This is radar indicated rotation. This is our only tornado warning here currently in the state of Indiana. Currently, there is no other areas of rotation that really I see up and down this line at all, other than a little bit of rotation in Jay County, Indiana. Mainly 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail for these lines as they race towards the Indiana-Ohio line. You can see a little bit of a hook echo here in Jay County. We'll stay on this tornado warning here as this warning has highest precedence. Tornado sirens going off in Hartford City. Hartford City, you're actually in the clear. You're behind the storm. You guys are okay. The worst of the storm is moving towards Portland. Grant County is not included in this tornado warning. It is just solely Jay County. So kind of surprised sirens are going off in Hartford City. The area of rotation would be near the probably east of the Red Key area by now, between Green and Powers, moving east at 60 miles per hour. Going to get pretty close to the Portland area, or just to the south. Not seeing anything super tight on radar, but again, our weather radar here is above the storm here. We're at several thousand feet. So we are overshooting the storm here a little bit with the rotation being quite shallow in nature. It is kind of hard to depict exactly what our VROD is at the surface, but with some broad rotation there. But there's also an MCV in the area as well. So some enhanced wind shear could be one of the reasons why the National Weather Service went ahead and pulled the trigger on a tornado warning out of caution, as we do have some increased wind shear in the area here this morning. Hit play here, you can see the storms here in the warnings as they are trimmed back. There's our tornado warning. Does go into effect here for 10 more minutes. This is for Jay County, Indiana. Radar indicated rotation, tornado possible. Now's a good time to move to an interior room away from windows until this storm has passed. This is a radar indicated rotation, area of rotation about due west of Portland, moving east to 60 miles per hour. This is currently radar indicated rotation here. I don't see anything on radar that indicates anything is on the ground, but do treat it just in case. Tornadoes can form quickly from severe thunderstorms, but you notice here how the storm is starting to bow out a little bit. This could be morphing into more of a damaging wind risk, but up here at the top, sometimes you can get kind of a bookend vortex where you can get embedded areas of rotation to form. And the most likely place would either be probably near Ridgeville or Powers on the south side of this warning, or on the north side of this warning box, due west of Portland, where it curves in a little bit. On the north side or south side of these bow echoes, you can get some couplets to form on the low levels. Either way, tornado warning remains in effect for Jay County. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail outside of the tornado warning. Interior room away from windows until this storm has passed. This is a radar indicated rotation here. A tornado watch also is still in effect for another 2 hours and 37 minutes for areas ahead of this line. The storm is going to be coming into the Portland area here over the next couple of minutes or so. Betty says sirens are going off in Portland. Good deal. Yeah, tornado warning is in effect there for another 7 minutes here. Radar indicated rotation. It is starting to bow out there, so I'm hoping we're going to see more of a straight line wind risk with this versus a tornado risk. However, we're going to have to watch this notch on the north side of the bow echo. Sometimes you can get some inflow, and what we call a bookend vortex, kind of a shallow area of rotation, could develop once again here on the north side But also keep in mind, these areas of rotation are very shallow. In this portion of Indiana, we're in between radars. We're in between three radars: Northern Indiana, Indianapolis, and Wilmington, Ohio. We're kind of in a gap between all three. Um, so it is kind of hard to see exactly how strong this rotation is at the surface. But there is some enhanced wind shear in this area thanks to what we call an MCV, mesoscale convective vortex. Basically, that's a fancy term for there's a little bit of embedded areas of low pressure within this line of storms that are moving that can enhance spin in the low levels, which doesn't take much for some low level rotation to form within these storms as well. So, out of the side of caution, not a bad decision by the National Weather Service to go ahead and put a tornado warning on that as well. It does look to be more of a damaging wind risk at this point, just looking at radar here, more straight line winds. We are going to have to watch near the Bryant area, though, this little notch on the north side of the storm. But I don't see any indications that a tornado is currently on the ground, just that radar indicated rotation. But we also have a pocket of some pretty strong straight line winds. We'll go back south here. Nice pocket of straight line winds, perhaps near the Morristown area associated with this line. No rotation that I see here currently. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail. This storm is still moving off to the east at 70 miles per hour. So these storms are racing across the state of Indiana. They have really picked up speed, largely because we have what we call an LLJ, a low-level jet. Essentially what that is the jet stream aloft. That's our atmospheric river. That's our transportation system that is responsible for not only moving our storm systems and low pressure systems, but in the low levels, wind shear can also enhance severe weather and also help push severe weather along as well. These prevailing winds are pretty strong, go a couple thousand feet above our heads, around 60 knots or so. So quite strong here this morning. So sometimes these thunderstorms can tap into those stronger winds aloft and pull them down to the ground in the form of straight line winds. These squall lines are pretty efficient at doing that as well. So damaging winds associated with this line, 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, are the primary hazards here for the remainder of the morning. But a spin-up tornado can't be ruled out. We do have those shear parameters in place as well. Tornado warning does continue for 4 more minutes here for Jay County, Indiana. Currently, Portland, Indiana, getting some gusty winds right now. I don't really see a lot of rotation anymore associated with this, which is good. But again, we're in a radar gap here, so it is hard to tell exactly where that rotation would be at, as we are in between radars here. Oftentimes, rotation in these QLCS setups or squall line setups are very shallow in nature, so it's easy for the radar to overshoot that area of rotation, perhaps near the Bryant area. If it's not clear air, it's kind of hard to tell. That could be clear air as well, but it does correlate with a notch there on the north side. So maybe a bookend vortex there. Kind of hard to tell a little bit, but still, tornado warning remains in effect. And it looks like the National Weather Service in Wilmington is issuing a downstream severe thunderstorm warning, likely to replace the tornado warning. Perhaps the area of rotation has weakened, but they do have a tornado possible tag in it. So some broad rotation exhibited still in this thunderstorm, and this is tornado possible. This is for Mercer County, Ohio, including the Salina, Ohio area, Fort Recovery. And we also have some warnings now extending into the Greenville, Ohio area as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail now warned for western Ohio, west central Ohio, now under severe thunderstorm warnings. Tornado warning is still in effect for 3 minutes, likely going to see that expire. We are perhaps watching maybe some broad rotation near the Bryant area, though. Hard to tell if that is rotation or if that is clear air. It's kind of right on the edge of the rain, but it is close enough to still say do take shelter just in case this storm intensifies. Tornadoes can form quickly from severe thunderstorms, and we do have some enhanced wind shear across the northern half of this line, thanks to that MCV present in the area, which is a mesoscale convective vortex. Basically, it's just a low-level area of low pressure capable of moving this line along, but can also enhance wind shear parameters at the surface, which are needed for severe weather, including a few tornadoes. The damaging wind risk is the primary risk here. Are watching a storm here has a nice hook echo on it near the Rushville area. I don't see a lot of rotation associated with this, but it is something to keep an eye on as this storm moves off to the east. More of a straight line wind risk associated with this. A nice pocket of straight line winds, perhaps near the Morristown, Rushville area. I don't see much in the way of rotation. Have to keep an eye on it though. That is a nice, what appears to be a hook echo there, but again, I don't see much in the way of rotation near the surface with this storm at this point in time. Currently, 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. A lot of you still asking who is in the clear and who is not. I'm going to reiterate this again. If you are north of this line, you're in the clear. Indianapolis, Vincennes, Evansville, you're good to go for the rest of the day. Severe threat is over. If you're south of this line, severe weather is still ongoing and will occur over the next hour or so until this line moves into Ohio. After you've been impacted by this line, your severe weather threat will end. I will not get into specific locations unless you are under a warning. So don't bother asking because I'm not going to answer you. I am only going to talk about counties within a severe thunderstorm warning. If you are not being mentioned, it probably means you're going to be okay. Tornado warning is expiring right now, so we are going to go back to just a severe thunderstorm warning here in Indiana. Still showing on here, but it has been allowed to expire for Jay County. So currently the tornado warning is expiring right now. Just a severe thunderstorm warning remains, but it does have a tornado possible tag on it. Some broad areas of rotation being watched by the National Weather Service, but not strong enough for a tornado warning. So the tornado warning in Jay County again is expiring and will disappear from your screen here momentarily. Severe thunderstorm warning to take its place. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail with a tornado possible tag on it, as there is still some broad rotation within this storm that the National Weather Service is watching. This storm is currently going to be moving into the Mercer County, Ohio area. So if you're in the Salina area, Coldwater, Ohio, there's your tornado warning just disappeared and is no longer in effect. This warning near the Winchester area has been trimmed back. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. All of these warnings here currently in Indiana are for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. Currently no tornado warnings in effect anymore here in the state of Indiana. Hopefully that continues here for the rest of the morning. Currently baseline severe thunderstorms here for east central Indiana, stretching from Columbus, Indiana, all the way to looks like perhaps a severe thunderstorm warning was even canceled for Portland, Indiana. That warning has disappeared off of my screen, but does continue through about Randolph County all the way down to Columbus, Indiana, is currently where our severe thunderstorm warnings currently reside. And they did just trim the warning back, so extreme portions of eastern Jay County under a severe thunderstorm warning. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail, as well as a possible tornado. Although I don't see a lot of rotation at this time, there is some broad rotation, but this storm will be quickly exiting Indiana and moving into Mercer County, Ohio. Extreme portions of perhaps southern Adams County, southeast Adams County may get clipped by this east of Geneva. So like Jay City, Indiana, over towards the Chattanooga, Ohio area on State Road 49. Heads up for some gusty winds there as well. Also, getting some damage reports around the Liston area and Tri-West Middle School and High School may have sustained some damage from earlier today. Have to see if that was straight line winds or a possible tornado there. We knew there was a couplet at the time. We'll have to see what the National Weather Service decides to do there. Many surveys going on here today for not only storms that are occurring today, but storms that occurred yesterday. We don't know the intensity or how many tornadoes occurred yesterday. We know there is at least a few that occurred across northern Indiana yesterday, but we don't know their ratings yet or intensities until the damage surveys are completed by the National Weather Service. In Chicago, Illinois, northern Indiana, and Indianapolis, we'll be conducting probably some damage surveys here over the next couple days to come here. And we should start to see that data come in over the next several days. Kat says some pine trees are ripped down in Osgood, Indiana. Yeah, likely for some straight line winds. There has been some sporadic damage reports being reported here with this line. A lot of this line, though, as I'm looking at surface observations, it appears to be sub-severe. Getting a lot of surface observations between 25 and 40 miles per hour, but there are some sporadic reports of gusts greater than that across the state of Indiana. We do have our severe thunderstorm warnings still in place here as well. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail in effect for east central Indiana from Jay County all the way down to Greensburg, Indiana. Excuse me. The southern portion of this line, though, appears to be weakening quite a bit, which is good. Still some heavier thunderstorms, but sub-severe at this point in time. Special weather statement for sub-severe thunderstorms as well. Currently, the strongest portion of this line stretching from east to Newcastle, from the Mercer County, Adams County, Jay County line, stretching down to about the Greensburg area. This is the strongest portion of the line. If you don't live in this areas, you're in the clear if you're north and west of this line. If you're east of this line, pay attention to these storms. They could bring some gusty winds to perhaps localize severe criteria to your location here this morning. Currently, baseline severe thunderstorm warnings are in effect here. Penny-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. The Mercer County, Ohio storm does have a tornado possible tag on it. Same thing with the Jay County severe thunderstorm warning east of Portland, though this storm is moving out of Indiana and into Ohio. And not really a lot of rotation associated with that either at this point in time. So these storms will be moving out of Indiana here, probably here within the hour. So getting pretty close for our severe weather event to be over. Still some gusty showers, though, hanging around southern Indiana. Gonna have to keep an eye on that over the next hour or so as well. Going around looking at some storm reports here across the area. Measured wind gusts at 9 a.m., so 30 minutes ago, in Muncie, Indiana, measured at 58 miles per hour. Have some thunderstorm damage. This is in Pendleton, Indiana. Several trees and power lines down, blocking roads south of Anderson. A few structural damage to roofs and houses. So we do have some damage in the Pendleton area. And also have a 68-mile-per-hour gust. That was measured earlier in Zionsville, Indiana. Now, granted, that was a public report, but the National Weather Service did publish that report. Looks like Noblesville, Indiana, some reports of some trees down there. So these storms have produced some sporadic wind damage here today. Some significant barn damage from Wells County, Indiana, south of Veracruz, Indiana. Some reports have come in from that location too. This damage here actually intrigues me. It could be perhaps a possible tornado there. Some signs of perhaps some lofting debris. Have to be interesting to see what the National Weather Service decides up in this area here, as some damage reports are coming in there from emergency management. Looks like they are still on the scene in the Wells County area, south of Bluffton. Good news is, though, Wells County, Indiana, and areas behind this line are in the clear. Your severe weather risk is over for today. We do have a lot of rain to deal with, though, over the next couple of hours. Some embedded thunder possible, but just steady rain. And this is some of the most rain some of this area has seen for some time. Northern Indiana was left out of the heaviest rainfall last week, and this is where the worst drought is in Indiana. We still have extreme drought stretching from Adams County, Wells County, all the way across the state, where some areas are, get this, 11 inches of rain behind where they should be for that drought to be eradicated. So will this get rid of the drought? No. But is it beneficial? Absolutely. It's unfortunate that we have severe weather associated with this rainfall, but the rainfall was much needed across northern Indiana. People in central and southern Indiana are probably laughing at me right now for saying much needed, as they have beachfront property in their yard. But people in northern Indiana actually do need this rain quite a bit. Currently, severe thunderstorm warnings continue from Randolph County down to the Greensburg area. The Greensburg warning does expire here in 5 minutes. This storm looks to have weakened quite a bit. I really don't see much on radar for Greensburg remotely, but areas to the north, Connorsville area, Cambridge City, Richmond, Indiana, still perhaps some gusty winds associated with this as well. So again, have to keep an eye on this line as it moves through Wayne County, Union County, and Fayette counties as well. Franklin County looks to be, I think, okay. I'm going to have to keep an eye on these storms to make sure they don't re-intensify, but some gusty winds can't be ruled out there as well. Definitely the strongest portion of this line is from Union County all the way up to Mercer County, Ohio. This section here that is currently warned is the strongest portion of this line. Tornado watch also still in effect as well. We do have a lot of heavy rainfall, though, so do watch out for ponding and excessive rainfall. That's probably some of the highest risk right now here on out. It's going to be rainfall, really excessive rainfall associated with this heavy rain moving across the region. Look out for ponding on roadways, shoulders. Drains may be having a hard time catching up. Some very heavy rainfall rates of 1 to perhaps 2 inches per hour in the cores of these storms as they move across Indiana. The strongest portion of this line is right in here from Winchester, Indiana to Richmond, Indiana. Some heavy rain here associated with this. If you're north of this line, you're in the clear. So about 2/3 of Indiana is in the clear. Draw a little smiley face over here. You guys are in the clear. Our cold front currently is draped right about in here. So our cold front is going to be moving in today, dropping temperatures from the 60s all the way into the 30s here by this evening. And overnight tonight, lows are going to be around 32 degrees, 30 degrees across the entire state of Indiana. And we could see wind chills into the teens and 20s across Indiana as well. Quite a shock to the system after lows were in the 60s last night, and having really been blessed with 60s and 70s and even a few 80s over the past week. So the spring fever meter is high across Indiana, but Mother Nature is about to crash that party. I don't like it either. It's okay. I'm ready for it to get warm and stay warm. Don't need the severe weather, but I'm definitely ready for these warm temperatures to stick around. Still some gusty showers. Still some severe thunderstorm warnings in effect. Go ahead and turn our velocity back on. Kind of see the gust front right in here, stretching just west of Connorsville, east of Winchester. Winchester, Portland, you guys are in the clear. Moving into Salina right now. Greenville, Ohio, and Richmond, Indiana. Still yet to come for you. I don't see really any rotation within this line. Just winds to perhaps um, gusting sporadic gusts to 60 miles per hour. But I don't think everyone in this line is going to see 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I think a more accurate way to say this, at least based on radar and also reports, Mesonet reports at the surface, is 40 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour. Could have some embedded gusts reaching briefly 60 miles per hour. Yeah, thanks, Connie. I appreciate that. Quite a busy night. We were live for about 6 hours last night. Took a couple hour power nap this morning. Um, and we're back at it here for the remainder of this event as storms kind of re-intensified a little bit, reorganized a little bit, loosely organized is the term there here this morning. Kind of like what we were talking about last night, how many of these areas we knew they were going to see storms and potential severe weather, but it likely wasn't going to be until earlier this morning. Um, with Northwest Indiana being the show last night, Central Southern Indiana being the show this morning. 60-mile-per-hour winds, heavy rain is the ongoing hazard here with this storm. Currently warned for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail, including Richmond, Indiana, moving into Connorsville, Indiana as well. You can kind of see the gust front right in here. Is the strongest portion of this line. I don't see any areas of rotation within these storms, primarily just a wind risk. Wells County EMA deeming possible tornado in Wells County. Wells County Emergency Management is on the scene of a possible tornado touchdown. County Road 350 South and 600 East Bluffton. One barn destroyed with no injuries. Believe it or not, that's actually a mile north of my house. So just got spared here this morning at headquarters, thankfully. So I'm able to come live here for y'all this morning. But yeah, that came very close to my house. I actually know the people personally that were impacted by this possible tornado as well. We also have a weather camera on our barn that actually shows a possible funnel cloud developing just to the west as it moved across southeast portions of Wells County. So stay tuned for updates there. We may have had at least a couple areas of interest here today. Emergency management will be in cooperation with the National Weather Service, and they'll be determining if that was straight line winds, such as a microburst or downburst, versus a tornado. So a couple of things to look at there as well. Strongest portion of the line, Wayne County, Indiana, down to Union County. Connors, you can see that gust front there. Wind gusts of 60 miles per hour. I don't think everyone is going to see 60-mile-per-hour gusts. Some surface reports ranging from about 35 miles per hour to 60 miles per hour. These storms are still moving east around 60 miles per hour. The worst of these storms will be moving off into Ohio here very, very soon. These storms across southern Indiana are gusty, but they are below severe criteria right now. They really don't look too impressive on radar, which is good. Hopefully it stays that way. Currently, severe thunderstorm warnings for Wayne County, including the Richmond area. This is where the gust front is moving into currently. Very windy in Connorsville, says Robin. Yeah, some gust front coming through. You guys right now currently in a severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Good news is I don't really see any rotation with this storm here, just straight line winds as it moves through Wayne County and Union County as well, and Fayette County. This storm is currently moving east at, looks like, about 60 miles per hour. Moving east to 75 miles per hour, sorry. So it is moving a lot faster. Hazard to trees, roof siding, utility poles are possible as well as these storms move towards Ohio. You got Darke County, Ohio, as well as the Eaton area in Ohio. Sorry, I don't know this county off the top of my head. But this is currently the strongest portion of the line here is strictly in Wayne County, Union County, moving into Fayette County as well. So the Connorsville area and the Richmond area. No other areas are warned currently for severe weather. In fact, down here is just not looking significant at all, well below severe criteria at this point in time. If you guys are in 2/3 of Indiana, north of this line, you guys are in the clear. Your severe weather threat is over. If you're down in here, a strong thunderstorm can't be ruled out. However, the severe risk is starting to decrease down here across far southern Indiana. We're going to have to watch a couple of these storms, but for right now, they're just not impressive on radar. Winds well below severe criteria for these, mainly just heavy rain and maybe some small hail can't be ruled out. But they look to be well below severe criteria down here. Currently, the gust front is moving into Richmond, Indiana, as well as Union County. Going to be coming into Fayette County here pretty soon as well. There's your line of storms moving into Richmond right now as we speak. There's no tornado in Portland, Indiana right now. That is false information. Because there are no storms in Portland, Indiana. Those storms have moved on. So just a few minutes left. Probably once this gust front moves out of Indiana and into Ohio, it'll probably end our severe weather coverage here. As the rest of this line here looks very unimpressive, but we'll continue to monitor things here behind the scenes. But we'll stay on you here until this warning expires and this gust front moves out of Indiana and into Ohio. So keep it here for a few more minutes. If you have any storm reports from Richmond, Indiana, let me know what you guys see there. Any storm reports, be grateful, appreciated. Currently 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-sized hail. If you're north of this line, you guys are in the all clear. Just a little bit of wind left in Indiana before most of the state will be in the clear. These storms down here look to be just very weak, very unimpressive down here in southern Indiana, with the strongest storm coming into Richmond, Indiana, wind gusts of 60 miles per hour possible. Penny-sized hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds. The gust front is currently working its way through Richmond right now, including Connorsville, Richmond, coming into the US 27 corridor, and I-70 here in Richmond. You can see the bright green here, a really skinny gust front. It's not going to be windy very long. You'll see a quick upkick in winds, and then it'll quickly decrease in about a minute or so as well. So the gust front is currently working its way through eastern Wayne County, going to be moving into Ohio, as well as Connorsville area and Liberty, Indiana. Look out for some gusty winds here to up to 60 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm warning is still in effect here for this segment of the line. Richmond, Indiana, currently in the thick of it now. Things will be improving here. Give it about 5 minutes or so. The gust front will be out of town here pretty soon. Winds to 60 miles per hour possible. Some small hail up to penny size can't be ruled out. But there are some pockets of some stronger wind gusts, perhaps near Connorsville. Nice little bright green segment there. 50 to 60 miles per hour through this line here. This line is moving east at about 75 miles per hour. We have some damage reports from emergency management near the New Salem, Indiana area. Tree and power lines down near 400 East and Orange Pike. We have some tree damage and perhaps some power line damage down there outside of the Connorsville area. Strong winds out ahead of this line as well. Dayton, Ohio, gusting to 49 miles per hour. That's a non-thunderstorm wind gust there. Richmond, Indiana, things are going to start improving for you. The worst of the gust front is on the east side of town. Still in the thick of it now, but you will see winds starting to improve here over the next few minutes or so. Same thing for Connorsville, Indiana. There you go. You can see that gust front moving here. The strongest winds are now on the east side of Richmond, near South Richmond and Cedar Springs, New Paris, along 121 in Ohio, and US 27 here in Indiana. You can see that gust front kind of turn back towards Connorsville a little bit. This will be moving towards the Liberty area as it moves west at 65 to 75 miles per hour. It is moving at a pretty good clip across the state, and we'll be out of Indiana here very, very soon. This is currently our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana at this time. And this does include 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-size hail, and this is for Union, Fayette counties, as well as Shelby and Preble County and Darke County in west central Ohio. 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. Strongest winds moving out of Union County will be moving through the Connorsville area, but also into the Fayette County area. And we'll have to watch strongest winds currently getting ready to move out of Wayne County and into Ohio here very soon. Just the extreme portions of southeast Wayne County still getting impacted by this gust front. Southeast Richmond with the strongest winds now out of Richmond, Indiana. Severe thunderstorm warning got trimmed back a little bit. Does continue for 60-mile-per-hour winds and penny-size hail. You can see the gust front right in here from Connorsville to the southeast of Richmond. This is moving east at about 70 miles per hour. Pockets up to 60 miles per hour possible. And the radar is going funky again with our velocity. I don't know what is up with this product, but not been happy with it here recently. We also have some flood advisories starting to pop up here across the state of Indiana. Crawfordsville, Indiana, in effect for 45 more minutes here. Torrential rainfall is occurring with these storms, and in fact, the heavy rainfall is almost greater than the severe risk at this point in time. If you're not in southeast Wayne County, Union, and Fayette counties, outside of these areas, heavy rain is the primary hazard at this point in time before our cold front comes through and moves the rain while ushering in much colder temperatures here across the state. Currently, penny-size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds for northeast Union County, northern Fayette County, and extreme portions of southeast Wayne County here in Indiana. Getting close to the airport here near Boston and southeast Wayne County. Here's your gust front right in here, moving east at about 65 to 70 miles per hour. Coming to your Witt Station, Yankeetown, you're in it now. Connorsville, right on the edge of the strongest winds. Brownsville, going to be getting into it. Liberty, going to come close to you. We'll have to keep an eye on you as this continues to move off to the east at 65 to 70 miles per hour. So just a couple more minutes here left in the stream, and then we'll probably hop off once this gust front clears out of Indiana. Very close to that happening here. We're just in northern Fayette County, southeastern Wayne County, and extreme portions of northeast Union County. Connorsville, you're in the clear now. The worst of it is off to your east. Same thing with Richmond. Richmond, your severe weather threat is over. If you're south and east of Richmond, heads up, gust front still moving towards the Eaton, Ohio area. However, Richmond itself, conditions will be improving for you over the next few minutes or so. Storms across southern Indiana, south of Columbus, Indiana, Seymour, Vernon, Versailles look to be well below severe criteria. I'm honestly not too concerned about these at the moment. They are just not impressive on radar at all. Still have to keep an eye on them, though, but currently not looking to be too big of a concern at this point in time. The main gust front here that is warned, this is our only severe thunderstorm warning in the state of Indiana. Southeast Wayne County, northern Fayette, northeast Union counties. for 13 more minutes here. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail. Just the extreme portions of east central Indiana still under a severe thunderstorm warning. Winds to 60 miles per hour. You can see the gust front right in here, just a couple miles to go before it's out of Indiana and moves into Ohio, towards the Eaton, Ohio area. So just about a minute or two left here in our stream before we will likely end it here. We'll continue to watch radar trends here behind the scenes. But after this main portion of the line moves out of Indiana, the severe weather risk is much lower here today.
From the area of 600 east to 300, 350 south. That's 600 east to 350 south here in Wells County. We received reports of a possible tornado this morning in this area, approximately 7:30 this morning. Police, fire, and EMS were dispatched out to this area. Upon arrival, we did find full large buildings with substantial damage.
So just a little bit more to go. The main gust front is now in Fayette County, near Liberty. It is moving out of Wayne County. There's the next scan here. Just a little bit of that gust front left before it is out of Indiana. But if you're north of this line, you guys are in the clear. If you're right in here, still have to keep an eye on things here today. But the severe weather risk is decreasing here for the rest of the day here today. Once this line moves out, we'll likely hop off here and still monitor radar here behind the scenes. But the severe weather risk is much lower here today. If you're north of this line anywhere, like, over 2/3 of Indiana, you guys are in the clear from severe weather here today. National Weather Service and Emergency Management will conduct damage surveys here today over possible tornadoes this morning, but also last night across Indiana. We don't know the ratings or the full number yet. We likely will not know that until over the next couple of days as damage surveys continue to get underway. Before we hop off, I want to thank our sponsor for this stream, Rutgers Outdoor Services, based in Indianapolis, proudly serving the Indianapolis area. If you have any tree damage or have any trees that could become problematic before the next storm hits, get a hold of them, 317-665-3961. They'll be happy to take care of that for you and assist you. So thank you to Rutgers Outdoor Services for sponsoring our stream here today. So the worst of the gust front is moving out of Indiana and into Eaton, Ohio, into that area there. 60-mile-per-hour winds, penny-sized hail.
Approximately 350 south, 600 east. This was not confirmed. National Weather Service did advise me that what they were seeing on their radar at that time could have very well been a tornado, but we do not have confirmation of touchdown. Assessment teams out later today to determine that. Thank you all and stay safe.
So this severe weather threat, so the wind is moving out of Indiana right now. Most of Indiana is in the clear. So this will likely conclude our stream here for today. Go ahead and probably end the stream here. Take radar back full here. If you're in this area here, still have to keep an eye on things. A few gusty showers of thunderstorms. A severe thunderstorm warning can't be ruled out for any of these storms, but the threat is quite low at this point in time. If you're anywhere in this area, I kind of drew the line a little bit aggressively there. If you're in this area From Evansville, north of this line, you guys are in the clear here for the remainder of the day. The cold front be coming through, dropping temperatures from the 60s into the 30s here for everyone overnight tonight, tomorrow morning. Wind chills, yes, wind chills will be in the teens and 20s overnight tonight into tomorrow morning. A few wet snowflakes can't be ruled out across far northwest Indiana later this afternoon into this evening. With that being said, we'll continue to watch conditions here behind the scenes. If we do see anything of great concern, we will come back on live. But for right now, the severe weather threat is quite low across Indiana for the remaining duration of today. With that being said, thanks for following our stream, and we'll continue to update things here behind the scenes and on the page as needed.